Hello all, today we are leaders trying to rebuild our businesses during these challenging times in the game. Crisis. Send out your managers to invest in different industries, trading resources, hiring, taking loans, producing and navigating local bureaucracy with the odd shady deal as you contribute to the future of Axia or maybe even its demise. Now this one's medium complexity, plays 1 to 5 and solo works really well here, may I add. Now it takes in the region of 45 to 120 minutes, with my plays typically being about 90 minutes plus, and we can see the designers and the publisher. Some of the mechanisms include worker placement and semi-co-op. Right, let's go and fix this crisis. Okay, welcome to Axia. The country is in crisis and we are entrepreneurs potentially buying government infrastructure that is for sale, and we're trying to recoup collectively this economy and make it work and get rewarded for doing so. So on the main board, it's a worker placement game. You've got number 1 working all the way down to 14 here, and we'll go through what all these action places do. You've got a lot of businesses here we're hoping to purchase. We're going to be running them with workers, maybe foreign workers, maybe a robot, and we're going to be getting production to then send this to export it to make money and victory points to collectively meet the austerity target at the top here. Now, as I say, 2-player setup. It's pretty similar from game to game. These austerity levels will vary depending on the player number and how difficult you want it. It does play solo as well, which is excellent. Now on the side, just out of camera view, you can see a little bit, but I'll be putting the sort of production areas and the companies themselves over here. You've got 4 workers to start with. First player here with this little briefcase. Second player is blue in this game. And you've got varying numbers of money to begin with. So 22 for the first player and 24 for the second player. So the first thing we do then is reveal an event. Now the game is dictated by this crisis track. We're in the green zone at the moment. We're just about hanging on. So if we go into the yellow zone and the red zone, if we ever hit 0, well, go below 0, we have bankrupt the economy and we all lose. Now, if that happens, that'll trigger the end of the game. If you have met the austerity target, there is a chance for someone to potentially win if they've hit the targets that are set by that economic union. Now, if the game ends after 7 rounds, and it will then become the player who's managed to hit the target and whoever has the most victory points ahead of others there. And then you turn money into victory points as well, and you deduct points for penalties you may have acquired through the game, and maybe even some loans that you have to pay back. So to begin with then, we're going to reveal an event card. So here we go, we've got a green one here and there's yellows and reds to match. So this first card then, what have we got? We've got a liquidity squeeze. So we're going to decrease the financial status by 4. And then the government subsidy in number 5, the loan locations cannot be used this round. So we've got some of these tokens here that we're going to put on number 2, which is government subsidy, and number 5, so we can't even take any loans. And we're decreasing this by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. So, you know, we're already in trouble with a liquidity squeeze. So that is the event phase. We're now over to loans, which no one's obviously taken. But you can see loans are tracked here, 1 to 4 loans, and you're paying a coin per loan you've acquired throughout the game. So no loans to pay. We're then on to planning. So we've got the white player at first. They're going to place one of their workers. Now, what have we got? We could go and attain some influence here, which is one of these kind of shady deals. And there's a host of goodness in here. You can see you're going to get to play one of these per round, and they're kept secret. And you've got things like grey imports. You can buy any 1 or 2 resources without losing victory points, or you could just gain 2 VPs, and it tells you when to play them. You've got workforce retraining. You may use up to 2 of your employees as employees of any other type during this round. So loads of goodies here. If you want to go and get one of those, this is where you're going to go. And you can see that many players could go there, dictated by this sort of rather large spot. Normally, if we went here, we'd get 4 money or government subsidy, but that is blocked off. We could go here and make sure we're first place on the next round and equally get a victory point, which is bumped up on here. Or maybe we want to go second and get one of these influence cards as well. This is the player order. This is where we typically go to get a loan, and you get 10 money and lose a victory point for doing so. We could go to number 6 here, the domestic market, and get a resource without having to pay the victory points. And you can see the price track here we'll go through. Maybe we want to get some workers from foreign lands, depending on how strong or weak our economy and the crisis situation is, depends on the costs here. So you can attain those. We could go here and get this worker. We could get some workers from our own domestic labour force here. We could go to one of these locations and we could attain one of these various industries that are up for grabs, but you have to pay the cost there. But you're going to get instant VPs, which is collectively helping towards our victory point goal, which is currently at 20, and we start on 15. Maybe I want to get some resources from abroad. Maybe I want to get some energy, and then this will be all about production and export. So what is this player thinking? They want to get the ball rolling, and we're looking at these industries at the top here. Maybe we like the bank at the top, which is going to provide us with potentially more money. And there's these little manager tokens here, which is a way to acquire your 5th worker, which is just out of camera view. We got farms here. We're going to need various resources to get loads of food production. We got trains. Get us some money there by running, a train station and the whole, infrastructure for that and transportation. We've got another farm. I kind of like the look of this farm because it's quite minimalistic and it's quite cheap to begin with. We've got a resort here, and we've got a pharmaceutical. So I think I'm just going to go for a farm. So we place that there, and that is it. You go to the next player then. So this is just planning. You're not actually undertaking that just yet. So blue's up, and they're thinking, you know what? My money, I can't go there. I'm going to go and get a shady deal. Whites are up next. And they're like, right, I'm going to need a worker to actually put on this farm. And while there's one available, we're going to come down here and grab that +2. And blue is up. And they're thinking, okay, I need a business as well. They've took that farm. Maybe I'm going to go for the bank up here. Whites are thinking, okay, I don't need any resources to provide this. I've already got a worker. Maybe I'm going to go and get another worker to help this farm be more efficient. So we're going to go in. Now, this will all make sense shortly. Now, the Blues have got a shady deal on the way. They've got no workers, and they have quite a business. Now, you can see they're going to need a financial worker, and there is none out in the market. These are randomly dealt. So they're actually going to have to come over to here to attain this foreign worker who can provide the requirements to let that produce. We're then over to the whites, and they're thinking, okay, I'm going to go and export because, I want to actually export the produce I make. And blues are in a tricky situation because they need energy to be able to run this bank. So they luckily can go to this domestic market here to acquire that. So everyone is placed. That is the planning phase. We're now over to operations where we work our way from 1 all the way to 14, and we do them all in order. So blue takes their worker off, and they are getting one of these influence cards. So I kind of sneakily looked at it a moment ago, but they're getting the grey import, so they can play this before production 4.13. So you can either buy any 1 or 2 resources without losing VP, or they can gain 2 VP. That's quite strong because normally you lose victory points here. So yet they're going to keep that secret up here. And we're over to the next location then. So number 6, the blue player can buy one of these resources at just the money cost. So this price board basically shows you, depending on which resource you take, let's say food production, you're going to be normally paying 2 victory points and 4 money. But going to the domestic market, it's only going to cost you 4 money. So depending on the resource, it lets you know the costs you're paying and how much they're going to pay out when you're exporting, or maybe even go into the black market, which we'll explain. So this player wanted an energy, so they're going to be paying 1 money. So we go down on the blue player, they take this back and they take an energy immediately and can store that on their warehouse. Now, the warehouses have limits and you can never go beyond those limits, otherwise you're discarding them. So we're back around, it's over to blue again here. In number order, they're going to take this worker here, which is a foreign worker. They just have a stack of workers and you can place those anywhere on your businesses, which we'll come to. But we're in the yellow part of the crisis, so we're going to have to pay 3 coins. 1, 2, 3, they're down to 20. So the white player literally takes these 2 workers at no cost, take their workers back, which is really nice. So over to blues, then you can see we've gone from number 9 all the way up to number 10. So we're going to take a bank. We have to pay 10 money, so we're going to go down to 10, and we're going to gain 3 victory points straight. 1, 2, 3. And this is now in our possession, a bank. Now, if you can never complete one of these actions and you've committed to it, you are going going to be penalised. You've messed the economy around. So you can see there's -1s and -3 points, and you just take this token and it sticks with you to the end of the game. Now, it says in the rules, various locations say here, I think it's -1 point. You will lose victory points depending on how many victory points were on this industry if you couldn't acquire it, because you might not have enough money to be able to take it. But for now, we're fine. We've started with some income in our entrepreneurial business. So over to this white player. They're going to acquire this farm. It's going to cost them 5, and they are going to gain 1 victory point as well. So they plonk that farm there for now. We're coming round, no other businesses. We're back to the top here. We come all the way down and we go to production, which is number 13. Now, anything you produce on this round cannot be used for other industries. So if you have multiple industries and you're thinking, right, I'm going to produce energy from this one to then fund that one, it doesn't work like that. You're going to have to be careful and store the right resources. So we are literally going to look now over to where we got the white player here. So they want to run this farm. They have got these 2 workers. So we're going to place this worker here. And that can now, it doesn't matter what the strength is, you need a worker there to be able to activate this industry. You can then put other workers down the bottom to make the output stronger. So we've got what, an engineer of some sorts here, or production. So they're matching the right requirement, and that is a +1. So typically, activating this farm would give you 1 food production. If we add this, it's got a little +1. That means this is now 1 plus the 1 is 2 food production. Excellent. So at the top then, the bank, they've only acquired this 1 worker to activate it. So we pop it there, and they're going to need an energy as well. Now this time they are going to be making 2 times the 5 money, which is 10 money. So you trigger these. So blue player is going up from 10 to 20 for money, and these guys are getting, what do we say, 2 food production, which they're going to store in the warehouse there, and that is production. So we're over to number 14, which is exporting goods. So we've got these sort of 2 columns here, and we've got the future market there as well. Now, a player here has the capability to provide one of these export contracts. So at the moment, the white player is the only one participating, and because they're the only one there, they could do as many as they want here. So literally, they've got 2 of these food production. They're going to take this 6 here, and they're going to fulfill that. So they're going to provide these 2 food production back over, and I put it back in the supply, and you can see they are going to attain 1 victory point and 2 money per food production. So double that is going to be whites are getting 2 victory points and they're getting 4 money. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now, obviously, you could provide up to 6 for this contract here, but you can provide at least a minimum. You have to provide at least a minimum of 1. So that contract's been fulfilled. Now, again, they could pick another one of these if they had extra produce, which they don't, unfortunately. Now, you can see what's potentially going to come out in the future round, and we'll show you some end of round sort of red tape as you get rid of this column here. So this worker's back, and that was operations. We now go to the evaluation of the financial status of the economy based on the victory points and the value points we've acquired from each person here. So at the moment, the white player is on 18 and the blue player is on 18. So the easiest way to work it is go, right, the target, the austerity plan wanted us to get to 20 at this point in the round. So we're too short. We're going to go 1, 2 down for the white player and 1, 2 down for the blue player. And equally, if one player was, positive beyond the 20, you'd go up 2 and then down for each player. So you're going up and down dependent on how each player has hit that target there. So that was evaluation. End of round then, you get rid of all of these what we've got industries there, and you're going to replenish them. Now we've got a load of industries for the first level, and then we've got level 2 and level 3, and that's based on the rounds here. So 7 rounds, you can see level 1 for the first 3 rounds, and then you can see it progressively goes to 2s and 3s, but the targets change. So we've got new industries out. We're going to get rid of all these workers here. The foreign workers stay the same, and we've got a bag which we're going to go and draw out some more at random. And you can see some of them have got workers of different types, some with different strengths. We've got a lot of these ones with hammers on. Hopefully we can get something with a bit of a fan. Oh no, we've had a really random draw. We've got loads of the hammers on. Okay. We would then take these off as well. And we set our new target on the austerity plan, which is 25 now. So you can see if we don't contribute collectively to this plan, we're going to be -7 each at the moment. So if someone has met the requirement this time by the Economic Forum, they're going to get, as a bonus, a free influence card, which is really nice. Okay, we're back around then. We've drawn an event. Now, this time, it's going to be a yellow event, and they progressively, get harder and harder. So what do we got then? We've got emergency taxes, so decrease the financial status by 2, and each player must pay 2 money. Okay, that's not very nice. So we're going down 2 here, and we're going down 2 money each. Back to loan interest. No one's got loans. We are safe. We're not paying any money. Back to planning then. And that's it. We pretty much just keep going around. So the white player is still first. That would only be changed if a player went here. So the white player is thinking, okay, I don't need any resources for this farm. I'm kind of safe, but there's a load of other businesses here. Do I want to go for another farm? I'm probably thinking I want something that's going to generate me income, but I also want to try and attain my extra worker, because worker placement game, I want more power. Now you can see this player has the bank, and it's got these 2 sort of little worker symbols shaded out there. As soon as you acquire 3, you get to take your additional work and you can use it on the next round. So where are these guys going? If they're thinking, okay, I'm not going to think too hard. Let's go for this resort then. Because we are producing bread, and that requires, well, I say bread, it's food production. So we're going to go there. Blues are up, and they spent their energy from last round, I should add. Okay, they need energy. How are they going to get this energy? Do any of these produce energy? No. So maybe they're just going to go here quickly before someone nabs it. And only one player can go there with the ×1. So let's just demonstrate a few extra locations, which will probably really mess things up, but... or should I? It's so tight, this game. Every action really counts. Oh, I forgot to replenish these. So as well, the export market, you get rid of the column furthest left. You bring these ones down, and then you bring the new future market in as well. And then we replenish the ones so we can see what's going to come out in the future. There we go. Okay. They are thinking, right, I am going to be buying this business for 10 money. I've only got 20. I'm going to need food production, which is fine. I'm going to need a worker. So we're going to come down here and we're going to go for that one because that gives us a bit of flexibility. The blue player wants a bit more business, but they also want to get more money from here. And they're thinking, right, I'm just going to go and nab one of these. Done. So they've got an extra worker to provide them more money. The white player is thinking, okay, I've got this. That's the blue player's influence. I'm going to have to export stuff, but I want more bread production. Tricky. Okay. They're going to go and get another worker as well because they can use this worker strength 1 to operate that, but they can use this worker with a strength of 1 as well to bump up production on this one. So that was the white player. Blue is thinking, what to do? We're going to have to export. Well, what are we even exporting? We're only getting a load of money at the moment. Maybe I want to go first player. I'm not happy, being second fiddle here. The white player is up. And maybe they need an extra worker here. Oh, tricky. Do they want to export? I don't think they've got a lot to export. Maybe they want to get another business. Ooh, which one? This one would need an energy and they're not producing energy. Maybe they want to go and acquire energy from over here. They could spend... we're going to do that. So we're going to go to this energy market. And the blue player is up and they're thinking, okay, do I want to go? I'm not exporting. Do I want to get some businesses? Maybe I just want to go and get another foreign worker. Okay, that's what we're doing. So everyone has planned operations and starting from number 1. Now I'll go through them again. Number 1, no one is taking an influence card. Number 2, no one is taking a government subsidy. Number 3, so we're going to reverse the player order here. And this has come back. And they are getting a victory point as well. We're coming down. No one's took a loan. Domestic market. Yes, the blue player is taking in energy. And they're going to have to pay 1 money for that one. They got some energy, which is to power that bank over there. It's over to Blues again. And the number 7 would be taking this remote worker, and no one's gone there. So they're going to take this one here, and you don't have to commit it just yet. And that is in the yellow stage of the crisis. It's going to cost them 3 money. 1, 2, 3, down to 14. So everyone gets their workers down here. Okay, so they're taking those, and the blue player is taking that one. Back up to the top there. No one's took the farm. The resort here. So 10 money for whites. So they're going to go down to 10, and they're gaining 2 victory points. So they've got another business for the white player. Excellent. We'll just squeeze those up so you can see those there. Lovely. And who was that? Was that the blue player? I can't remember now. Hold on. The white player went for another farm. Or did I? No, I'm getting confused. That's the energy market. Okay, we're down here. No one else has got any businesses, so we're going to get rid of these. Now, I should add, I have selected the rather grey and boring side of the board here. There's on the other side is this exactly the same, but it's kind of nice and colourful. But just to show you in the video, you can really see the colours of the actions here nicely. So 11, we are not exporting. Is it exporting? We're not getting rid of any goods which is really costly. You know, if you went here, you could do 1 or 2 times to pay 2 victory points and 4 money per good to get one of these minerals or chemicals. You can see 3 money, 6 money and 3 victory points just to get a chemical. But that could be crucial in making your operations and your industry work. So here then, we are going to spend 1 of our food production to get 2 energy, but I've just realised we haven't produced yet. They've got no food production, so they're taking a penalty token. I think it's 1 victory point loss. I can't remember specifically in the rules, but I think it's -1. So the white player's not been able to do that, which has hurt them massively. So they're going to take this -1, which they're going to keep until the end of the game. So we're down here, no one is even exporting, but we've got to do production first. So let's go. Now this is simultaneous to production, and you know, once everyone gets really savvy at it. So what have we got then? We've got the resort here. They're going to need this worker to activate that. They're going to need a bread, and I've just realised the production we make from this can't be used to power this. So that is a big waste. Okay, let's try and salvage this, shall we? So we are going to put a 1 there. Oh, or should we go for 2? Oh dear, it's going to be 1 either way, isn't it? So we're going to go 1 there, and we're going to go 1 here. Okay, so this one we can't activate because we... Oh no, we can still activate, sorry. So we can take 1 bread, or 1 food production. No, we can't. That's what I need to spend. I'm getting confused. Okay, so we can't utilise this business because we can't provide the resources here to make this work, which is a big shame. We needed that money. But what we can do is this one here. We've met the requirements and we've filled the capacity. So this is going to trigger 1 plus the 2 plus that one is 3. We're producing now 3 food production, which we're very much going to want to need and keep to be able to power this resort on the next round. So over to this player. They have attained some energy and they're going to put these workers to use. Now you can see this time we have a multiplier. So we're going to spend the energy to activate it. So we've got 1 plus the 1 is 2. Plus the 2 is 4, so 4 times the 5 is 20 money for the blue player. So that's over to 34. Now you can go beyond 50. You're just going to get one of these tokens here, and then you can go. If you're mega money, you're going to get plus 100. So whites, wow, very disappointing. Okay, so everyone's done production. Now these you can mix and match amongst your businesses, and as you can see there, sometimes it doesn't quite go to plan. Now I should add the blue player had this card here, so they can, don't forget these, you can play 1 per round. Okay, no one was exporting, so to finalise the round then we're going to get rid of these, we're going to shuffle these down, and I'm probably going to call it there folks. You top this back up, bring 6 new businesses out, bring 5 more workers here from the bag, and you just keep going. Now, you can see as you go through the rounds, this target gets harder and harder. So, you know, next round it's going to go to 31, and you can see our victory points were currently there, actually, so I'll keep it on 25. So just to evaluate and finish off the round, the white player is -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The blue player is now -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've only got 10 on the crisis track left. This is desperate times, folks. So you can see, it's going to 31 next time. We've got a lot of catching up to do. We need to be buying businesses. We have to be exporting, because you can see that is where the bulk of these victory points are going to be coming from. As you know, transport these cogs here to get 3 victory points for each one. So there's a lot to think about here, folks. Utilising this card was probably a must, because I could have traded this in for 2 VPs straight away. So there's a really fascinating need to be hitting these austerity goals, or just things that get, to avoid progressively getting worse as the crisis track comes down. We would then be revealing one of these red cards here. So you can see it's going to be a workers' union strike. Each player must set aside 1 employee that can't be used this round. Wow, that is a negative indeed. The whole board is just so tight, as well as you're trying to acquire this and that. Now, obviously, not a lot changes from player count. So a solo play up to the higher player counts, it's the same board, so it definitely plays differently depending on the player count, but it works. It just offers a different vibe to the game, and you really have to be mindful of the flow and the order when you attain those resources, or when you get the money to power this. And you saw in my example, I completely miscalculated not having that food production to be able to satisfy the needs of the businesses there. And literally, once you get to round 7, unless you've already gone bankrupt here, you are going to see if anyone has managed to, let's just say, we finished the 7 rounds. You're going to see who has the most victory points. You're going to turn any money you had, 5-to-1 ratio, into victory points as well. You are going to deduct any of those penalty tokens you might have acquired, which are hiding from me now. Where are they? I think here we are. Any of these you go in to deduct as well, and then you're going to see who has the most victory points there. Equally, if the economy does go bankrupt and it drops below 0, then everyone loses, but there's still an opportunity for someone to win. If a player has managed to get ahead of the austerity goal there, you are literally going to see where your victory points are. You are not going to get 5-to-1 on the money, because the economy's gone bankrupt. You're equally not going to lose the victory points for these penalty tokens as well. And then you're going to see who had the most VPs above that austerity target. And there we are, folks. You keep going, 7 rounds. You've got, as I say, many of these austerity cards to play it from different complexities, or different difficulties, should I say, and different player counts as well. There we are. Enjoy.